I wrote the screenplay and all 10 songs for the movie with help from my sister Jackie as a co-author of the 2 songs. And I know that you said, Ms. Chairwoman, that parents need to become proactive about bullying, but I also think that children do. I wrote Milo J. High because bullying has become an extremely important issue for kids and teens. Almost everyone goes through it in some form, including me. Some kids experience bullying as a victim, being tormented physically and emotionally. Victims sometimes seem to be victims because they can't or won't stand up for themselves, but bullying is not the fault of the victim. Very often, when victims attempt to stand up for themselves, they're attacked verbally and physically, and they suffer terrible consequences. There's always a ringleader who initiates the bullying of the victim. Bullies aren't necessarily always the boy who's bigger than all the other kids and takes people's lunch money. The bully can also be the girl who makes mean comments and to everyone and seems to get away with it and still be very popular. But I don't think either of these 2 classifications of kids is the most important when we talk about understanding bullying. I think the people who play the most important part in bullying are the bystanders, the 99% of all the other kids who knows that it's wrong but don't do anything about it. Those are the kids who can make the difference, and these are the kids who are my target audience of Milo J. High. In most anti-bullying programs I've seen go through my school, the bully always gets caught in the end or realizes what they're doing is wrong, or the victim all of a sudden overthrows the bully and tells an adult who solves the problem. These approaches don't really work in real life. The victim's a victim because they can't stand up for themselves by themselves, and no one ever helps them. A lot of bystanders in a bullying situation will say, "I'm just staying out of this," making parents and teachers proud of how they avoid the drama. In reality, their non-involvement is what's increasing the problem. By doing nothing when you know something's wrong, you're making the problem a lot worse. A lot of kids don't want to say anything to the bully because they're friends with the bully or they don't want to lose their popularity. The story of the bystanders is what Milo J. High is about. And if one person tries to stand up, they'll be crushed just like the victim. But when the 99% of the school who knows bullying is wrong stands for what they think is right, the bully doesn't have a fighting chance. Bullying can start as something making a hurtful comment or building emotional scars for life, even murder and suicide. Bullying continues because the victims feel like they're alone. If the bystanders do what's right, even if that risks popularity or losing friends who weren't even your friends in the real first place, the bullies or the victims will realize that they're never really alone. That's the message of Milo J. High, and that's the basis of the work my sister and I have done together. And now I'm going to turn it over to her.
Thank you. My name is Jackie Andrews. I'm 16 years old, and I go to the Lawrenceville School. I've spent the last 3 years focusing on a program that focuses on the 99.9% of the people who can make a difference in the bully and the victim's life, the bystanders. I'd like to tell you about a personal experience. In my grade school, I know this one girl who she and her best friend were the most popular girls at school. One day in 4th grade, her best friend was bullying this girl who was slightly overweight. This girl was disgusted by her best friend's actions. And she did not take for this, so she went and said something to her best friend. Thank you. I, too, have experienced the pain. I was a victim of bullying myself. I've experienced the pain and the suffering caused by a bully from as early as 4th grade. In grade school, I used to be best friends with this girl. One day in 4th grade, my best friend was brutally picking on this girl who was slightly overweight. Disgusted by my friend's actions, I decided to stand up for the victim, which ultimately led me to be the victim myself. If just one other person had stood up behind me, the bully never would have failed, but no one did. Ironically, the victim who I had stood up for became the bully's best friends, and I became the target. Meanwhile, the bystanders just watched. The anti-bullying curriculum that I've created is based on a 3-step program focusing on grades 3 and 4, 5 through 6, and 7 through 8. While much bullying occurs in grades 5 and 8 through 8, I believe it is crucial that we reach students in 3rd and 4th grade. The programs are designed for 30 hours per year. The lower grade curriculum includes requiring students to draw and write picture books about how to form alliances against bullies, creating and signing creeds, poster contests, and buddy systems. The higher grade curriculum includes requiring students to read and summarize entries by bullied students on international websites and to create stories about how these students' suffering began. For all 3 grade levels, my created My curriculum emphasizes on how bystanders can make the right choice and become a part of the solution to the bullying crisis. This curriculum grew out of the message of my sister's upcoming movie, Milo J. High. After I co-wrote some of the songs in the movie, I decided to take the next step and develop the program, which hopefully will lead to major improvements in the way that our school teaches about the academic of bullying. Bystanders need to stand up to a bully and change another lives. Each day, each one of us can be that person who takes a stand. Every day we have decisions to make. Yesterday, one more person was bullied because no one chose to do anything. Today is the day we stand up. Tomorrow, one less child is a victim. Thank you for this opportunity.